we meet you, sir? Tell us the period you were present or pensives.
This creature is known as Adebayo Dada Akinde, born in Kaduna in north central zone of Nigeria on August 25, 1946. Of a father Igba extraction and a Sierra Leonean, and a mother of Sierra Leonean extraction. Had my basic primary education mostly in Kaduna. Concluded it in Abeokuta, my native home city, where I had my ordinary level, my secondary education. First for the WAEC and also for the high school. I was at the University of Ibadan in 1967-68 with a view of wanting to read physics. But then when IFE started electronic engineering, which had always been my preference, in 1968, I moved from UI to IFE to start again in IFE and ended up obtaining a Bachelor of Science honors degree in electronics in 1971. Immediately, I proceeded to the United Kingdom, specifically University College, London, Ingar Street, where I had my master's degree in microwaves. Went from there to work as a development engineer at the then Radio and Space Research Station, Dutton Park in Slough. From where, 1972 to 1973, when the erstwhile Vice Chancellor of the then University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, our revered and cherished late Professor Hezekiah Adedumola Oluwasomi was the Vice Chancellor, came to us in the United Kingdom, found me out, and requested I should please come to join the staff of the Department of Elect in Ife. This was in 1973, when the department was in dire need of lecturers. Of course, Professor H.A. Oluwasomi I held at the highest esteem. So I could never have said no to any request from him. I went off to Ife. I had to abort my career as a development engineer at the Radio and Space Research Station, Slough, now Appleton Laboratory. Professor Oluwasomi assured me before I went to Ife that if only I could spend at least a year there in Ife in 73, he would get the university to sponsor my doctorate degree. I must say, at the time I got my master's degree, I was unclear what I wanted to do in life. I was never sure whether I wanted to be an academic or I would want to practice as a professional engineer. So Professor Oluwasomi, in a sense, was God sent to me. Because the 1 year I spent in Ife, 73, 74, exposed me to the life of an academic. And it was something I liked then. Ife, in those days, had so much facilities, apart from the beauty of the campus. As an alumnus of Ife, now becoming a staff of Ife, I felt greatly fulfilled. And I just said, the 1 year I spent there convinced me I could make a career as an academic. And that is why I stayed in there. In 74, President Oluwasomi got Ife to send me on study leave back to the United Kingdom, where I now went to do my PhD degree at the University of Sussex in Falmouth, Brighton, United Kingdom, Southeast England. I got a PhD in 78 in computer engineering. Shortly after that, even though I had a research fellowship, I returned to Ife immediately. Professor Oluwasomi adopted me as a friend. He used to call me my friend, my friend, my friend. He came to visit us, my wife and I, and he got the University of Ife to even pay the fees of my wife, knowing very well that if I was on the staff of Ife, she would invariably get there. She would work there. A nice man, a gentleman, an encourager of young people. He made such great impact on me. So 1978, after postgraduate degrees, my wife and I returned to Ife and joined the academic staff of the University of Ife then, before the government changed its name to Obafemi Awolowo University. I had a total of about 29 years, 10 months stint as a staff of Ife. My ambition in life had always been to be an eminent professional. God gave us the grace to have turned out as a thoroughbred professional. My supervisor, major supervisor in Sussex for my PhD, computer engineering, was one of the old stock. Professor Richard Lawrence Grimsdale. The last lot of those who developed Britain's proudest computer system, then, which was the MU5, from the Manchester University, which was the flagship of the computer produced from the United Kingdom. And in a PhD, I returned to Ife as an academic, determined that through, by the grace of God, I should be a distinguished academic, a renowned professional, computing professional, and of course, I must make my own marks, my contribution towards the development of computing in Nigeria. As at the time one came in, it could be said that Nigeria was in its infancy stage as far as computer devolution is concerned. IBM that transmuted into DPMS, data processing management systems. ICL, which was the British computing company. NCR, another reputable computing company from the States that was then housed in Weston House, Broad Street, in Lagos. After that, there were one or two other international companies just coming up. But then, brave Nigerians went out to compete with the international giants. Data Sciences Nigeria Limited, founded by Ituban John Abbott, a Tibet. Joint Computing Company Limited, JKK, founded by a team of 4 very brilliant, courageous Nigerians that gave even the multinational companies, computer company, a good run. As professionals in the deployment of computer systems and also things. We have the privilege of working closely with all these companies as we were determined to move around the major computing companies in Nigeria, the IBMs, the ICL, the NCL, the Data Sciences, the JKKs, before all the datamatics came around to say they must support computing knowledge in the universities. It was only a matter of time, before they saw the wisdom. Because if they failed to support computer education in Nigeria, then the ridiculous thing of bringing computers into the country, and now you want to repair, then you've got to start bringing expatriates in again, flying them in. The cost of fare, the cost of keeping them in 4 or 5-star hotels here, feeding them, entertaining them, and all those things will far outweigh whatever the benefits you will get from the repairs. We're very pleased that the Nigerian companies gave massive support. And we also did not leave the Nigerian, the international companies alone too. IBM, you're making money in Nigeria. You must support computer education. ICL, you're making money in Nigeria. You are morally bound to promote and support computer education in Nigeria and all those things. So I must say, as far as my career in computing is concerned, the 3 major desires of mine to practice as a renowned, thoroughbred professional, God granted the grace. To be a distinguished academic, God granted the grace. This creature retired from Ife in 2002, April, as a professor of computer science and engineering. It had to be computer science and engineering because when I came in, though with a PhD in computer engineering degree, I found myself practicing mostly as a computer scientist. and at the point of my promotion to a chair in Ife, I requested that I be considered for the chair of computer science and engineering because I had practiced computer science along with my computer engineering. At the end of the day, the external assessors vindicated our desire, and that happened. So I must say, I am pleased and thankful to God for the grace He gave in fulfilling our desires of being a thoroughbred professional, of reaching the peak of my university career as a professor. And the third thing I desired, the privilege of making substantial, outstanding contributions to the development of world-class curriculum for computing in this country.
Tell us the period you were president of Nigeria Computer Society.
No, all these ones started before.
Okay.
I became the president, but I had been involved with the Computer Association of Nigeria. Initially, the acronym then was CAN. CAN, we used to call it. And we were out there. We used to meet at the University of Lagos. Our colleagues at the University of Ife, University of Lagos there, Professor Abbas, Professor Femi, late Professor Femi Agbalajobi, Professor Ayeni, Professor Shofoluwe, Professor Ito Delonge. All of them were committed. We started meeting there. They offered us a temporary secretariat at the Department of Computer Sciences, University of Lagos. Then we suddenly found out that a number of other corporate bodies in this country went by the same acronym, CAN. Computer Association, Cocoa Association of Nigeria was one. There were a number of other groups that had the same acronym, CAN. Then we just decided we would not change our own acronym from CAN to COAN. The CO coming from computing, Association A and the N of Nigeria. So there was a time we called the Nigeria Computer Society Association, QUAN. We changed it from CAN to COAN to avoid the confusion. So when you talk about CAN, whereas you meant Computer Association of Nigeria, some other people may now say that's Cocoa Association of Nigeria and all sorts of things. So that is how the acronym got changed from CAN to COAN. Of course, by divine providence, what came in as I'm just trying to see hard. I think I was the seventh president of the association, coming after the late Professor Olulonge, the late Professor S. Bamidele Jayesimi, Chief Don Obot Etiebet, the late Chief Olatunji A. Odegbami, Mr. S. Babatunde A. Ezuzichi, Deacon or Pastor Tim O. Akombi, and I came in as the 7th President of the Computer Association of Nigeria between 1997 and 1999.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Can you tell us more about the development of NCS till date?
I don't know how you're going to talk about the development. Development from what perspective? From being a hired tenant at the University of Lagos Computer Sciences Department. We managed with great courage to continue doing the needful. The company was registered, we affiliated it with the world body, IFIP, International Federation of Information Processing, which is the highest IT body in the whole world. It has a conference, a World Congress, which holds once in 10 years, or thereabout. Yes, and I've had the privilege of attending one of such congresses in Austria during the time I was president of the Computer Association of Nigeria, 1997 to 1999. We ensured that we took the Computer Association of Nigeria beyond the borders of Africa to be known by IFIP. I believe the late Professor Sam Bamidele Jayesimi too, once attended, I think so, yes, once attended the IFIP Congress. I think that was in France, in Paris at a point in time. The record should be somewhere in the Secretariat, if the records could be found. You know, so we took it to the world scene, and I think we should sustain such visibility. Not only will it get bodies like the Nigeria Computer Society to be reckoned with internationally, it will also assist in enhancing, promoting high quality of practice in this country. IT is a global language. It operates on a global platform. It is an illusion for any society or nation to think you can be a local champion. You must aim at the global standard. And unless you go to the global platform to operate and play, it will be difficult for that to happen. We must know and note the rapidity with which IT issues grow and develop and move forward in the whole world. Nigeria cannot afford to lag behind. And only bodies like NCS and CPN, they have a compelling responsibility. It's not a moral duty. compelling responsibility to make sure that IT standard is placed on the global pedestal. We can't afford to draw back. Take, for example, can any nation afford to fall out of the use of ATM in financial matters? Can any nation say it doesn't want to use POS in commercial activities? So more and more of systems that will have global impact, global standard, will evolve with time. And NCS, CPN have a compelling responsibility to shout on rooftops to Nigerians, the citizens, to hold our government, those who govern us, by the jugular, that they must give IT a prominent position which it deserves. We cannot afford to sleep, to be left back again. No nation can now say, I'm going to take my own time. You must make effort to catch up and go along with us at the incredibly high speed which IT has been developed. Information technology is about the only field in the whole world where every prediction, if you predict that IT will be at this point in 5 years' time, you will be lucky if that point has not been reached 2 to 3 years. And the world is still moving on. It's still moving on. So we cannot afford to sit back. We can't afford to rest. We must always struggle. Equip our youth, put enough computing power into their hands so that they can compete favorably in the whole world. The era of local champion is gone, and I believe it is gone forever. Who could have predicted 10, 20 years ago that a company in America, in Canada, can employ a Nigerian in a village somewhere, as long as there is electricity, that's all. And then you can work. Networks connect the whole world. Networks have rendered space irrelevant. So we must continue to take advantage. We can't afford to lag behind. No, we must keep up with the global speed.
Thank you, sir. What were your major achievements as president of NCS?
That's a difficult question. You're not to blow your own trumpet. Even though when you fail to blow your own trumpet, it could get rustic. Maybe because of this other reason, so that my trumpet doesn't go rustic. When the Secretariat left the Department of Computer Sciences in the University of Lagos, we went to we rented the floor of a building in Akinde Street in Surulere. It was in a corner. It was in a corner. And that was where we held all our council meetings, committee meetings, and so on. You couldn't easily tell people the Computer Association of Nigeria Secretariat is in Akinde. So what? Not many people knew it. That's the first thing I thought I should do, was to put the Secretariat of the Computer Association of Nigeria at a more respectable and visible location. So within the first 6 months of becoming the president, I contacted 2-3 elders of the association. Unfortunately, 2 of them have gone to eternity before us. Chief Adebayo and Engineer Simeon Agu. I approached them. I approached Etubon, John Abbott, and Chebet as well. The 3 of them. And I said to them, 2 out of the 3 have been past president. You should be ashamed of the location of the Secretariat of our association. How many people pass through Akinwami? How many people know of Akinwami Street in Surulere? They said, you should be ashamed. All you juggernauts and caterpillars. The Secretariat of your profession is tucked away in one corner. You couldn't do that. So we went looking for a more visible, better befitting secretariat. And we got one along Ikorodu Road, around Onipano. So we got up there. And a more visible signboard was put up. I think that was when we decided to have a proper conference table. I'm not sure whether this is it or not. Yes. But then we had something similar to this at that point in time. I said, so people must come in, see the signboard, let it be visible. And when they entered, they must see an equally respectable chambers where the council of a respectable profession resides. That happened. That's all.
Okay. Please.
If I must say again, our conferences were about the major activities every year. And it was a situation of really living from hand to mouth. We raised money by running to our corporate members, begging, cap in hand, begging for money to host our conferences. At the end of such conferences, we will just come to almost back to zero. We started a situation whereby I said the conference must be self-sustaining, self-financing. And I think we made money after our first conference. I think it was in Jos Okano, I can't remember. And we made handsome profit, whereby we were able to plug the succeeding conference easily after going to Bahrain. And I think that was how we got to this era of now being self-sufficient with organizing our conferences and so on. So we tried to move the secretariat away from a corner where it was taught to Ikorodu Road for greater visibility, more respectable environment. This, no doubt, is better, and we should strive to even go to get better. One other thing, I can't remember the figures. We emphasized formation of chapters. And I want to recall that the 2-year stint of our presidency, we got many branches of the Computer Association of Nigeria inaugurated. We did for Calabar, we did for you. Maybe I'm saying Calabar first because my better half is from that place. That's my second home. So, and quite a lot of other branches. Enugu too, that was when we did Enugu. And so I can't remember them anymore. But we emphasized and we went about increasing the number of chapters. Yes.
So, what can you say about the current NEC with Professor Shodi as the president? How do you see this current NEC?
Professor Shodi is eminently qualified and competent. They'll be the president of the Nigeria Computer Society. I cannot judge my colleague or my president. But we're delighted that those who have been coming continue to make progress. Continue to make progress. And all I would want to add is that NCS owes Nigeria the obligation of shouting on the rooftop to know that there's serious paradigm shift in the practice of IT. I look at the world. Nigeria cannot afford to be left behind, and it's not left behind. It is getting more and more difficult to decide who a professional IT is today. Is it the person who sells hardware or software? Is it the person who develops software? Is it the person who integrates systems, of which computing happens to be just a component? Whether we like it or not, it's becoming increasingly difficult to be able to decide who a computer professional is today. Go to the fintech sector and you want to see the great things which young Nigerians are doing. I've never even heard the names of many of those doing those great things. Have you heard the names of such people? So it's becoming increasingly difficult for you to know to decide who a computer professional is. Because those who do not have degrees in computing are now versed in the use of the computer. And I just wonder what you want to call them. How do you, into which category you're going to place them? They are not even interested in being called anything. But they continue to break new grounds. They continue to do exceptionally bright things. How do you classify them? That, I believe, is the greatest challenge. With bodies like the Nigeria Computer Society must brace up and be courageous enough. If we have to liberalize, we will have to do so. I am saying, I know the straitjacket regulations with NCS and CPN have for memberships. What I am saying is that times are changing. There is a clear paradigm shift. If a Bill Gates had been in Nigeria, he is not qualified to be either a member of the NCS or the CPN. Do you know that? Bill Gates, what computing degree does he have? What computing degree does he have? Tell me. But he's made a fortune. Is there a greater influencer of IT than Bill Gates? If it comes to Nigeria, he's not qualified to be either a member of the NCS or the CPN. That is the challenge for us. And we must face it. We must be humble enough to look at the problem straight in the face and provide solutions that will be beneficial to Nigerians, to the profession, and to everybody at large. It is a challenge, and we must be humble enough to do the needful.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Do you have future expectations of NCS?
Pardon?
Future expectations, apart from what you have told us now. Is there any other thing? What do you expect from NCS in the future? How you want NCS to be like?
I'm just one person. Let NCS keep its eyes open. Shine your eyes. You know it on the television. Analyze. Understand the issues and requirements of the moment and take informed decisions. Where we need to eat the pie of humility, to go back, amend or adjust conditions for membership, we should be able to and do so. But I see a situation. Computer has become a tool all over the world, right from primary school, secondary school. You'll be amazed what even our children can do with the computers now. What some of us computer professionals 40, 50 years ago them to be. This is child's play. We taught all these little rats. Our grandchildren can do great things they can do with the computers today. Where do you want to classify them? I call my granddaughters. I want to do sacrifice. Come here, you. My princess. How do you do this? And an 8-year-old will just think here and there and will resolve the problem for me. It is beginning to happen. So we must know that if need be for us to swallow the pie of humility, to revisit our criteria for membership and classification for the sake of the future, we must do so.
Thank you very much, sir. It's good having you with us. Thank you for all that you have told us. We are very grateful. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Wish you well, ma'am.